This is Coach Lee, and in this video I'm going to answer the question, should you text your ex if you want them back? Take a quick second, click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And that includes videos on relationship dynamics, breakups, attraction, and mindfulness. So I don't blame you if you want to text your ex. Most people who've been broken up with do reach that point where they say, I just want to reach out. I feel like I should. I feel like I need to do something. It's similar to wanting to rattle the cage at a zoo or something to get the animal to move and do something. It feels like it would be productive. But movement, action, is not always productive. It's just doing something. It's like running on a treadmill. You don't know if it's going to be productive or not. Texting them just to get action, just to get activity, just to have some sort of communication does not mean you will get what you want from it. But I understand the desire. A lot of times people will even say, I just want to make sure they're okay. And as I joke about in other videos, if you want to make sure they're okay, check the obituaries. If they're not in there, they're okay. But should you text your ex? The general answer is no. And so that means a lot of you in the comments will say, no, okay, so the answer is no. But obviously you want me to tell you why the answer is no. And so that's the point of this video. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you shouldn't text your ex if you want them back. And this applies to somewhere before the 3 or 4 month mark after the breakup. Because if it reaches that point, then you really don't hurt your chances of getting them back, because really at that point you don't have much to lose. So before that point, the question is, should you text your ex? Should I text my ex? Here's reason number 1 why you shouldn't. Texting them removes the mystery. Why does it remove the mystery? Well, because if they don't have any communication from you, any answers from you on what's going on in your life, if you're moving on, if they can't get a feel, even if it's wrong, if they just don't feel like that they are somehow able to get a feel of what's going on with you, where your head is, where your heart is, then it's left to the realm of mystery, which is very powerful. Mystery is always more powerful than the answer, because mystery keeps you moving toward the answer, keeps you wanting the answer, it keeps you preoccupied. It causes you to work and to think and to stay on that topic in your mind. When you get the answer, there's a sense of relief. Even if it's an answer that you don't want to hear, there is some closure, some relief to getting the answer. And so just you texting them is a form of an answer. Even if they make the wrong conclusions, like thinking that you're still interested for sure, which in this case is actually the right conclusion. It will remove the mystery, which you want mystery. Mystery is a key ingredient to attraction. As a matter of fact, if you've seen my video on Limerence, which is the chemical high associated with especially a new relationship, because there's so much mystery, there's so much to explore about the other person. Physically, emotionally, intellectually, there is much that is unknown. And so what drives you is this desire to know more, to explore, to learn. And so when you allow for some mystery, you are actually bringing Limerence on as an ally of yours to help you. You actually bring in that element, which can help you get your ex back, which is another reason the no contact rule, which I have a video about, is so effective and important. I also have a video about Limerence, and I will link to both of those in the description below. Another reason you do not want to text your ex is it will look like chasing. No matter how cool you play it, no matter how polite you are, it will look like chasing. And the reason for that is because your ex, after breaking up with you, no matter how humble they are, no matter how they tend to stay away from being arrogant, they will feel that they are higher than you on the totem pole of attraction. And so they will interpret you reaching out to them as chasing. And chasing will basically push them away even further. If you leave them alone, at the worst, they stay where they are. But when you reach out, you push them further away. And if they are moving forward in those stages that an ex will go through during the no contact rule, and I'll link to that video that I have about that in the description below. But if they're progressing in those stages and you reach out too early, you just pull them back. At worst, you would pull them back to the relief stage where they get relief from not hearing from you. We want it to be mystery. We want them to actually have a little bit of an itch that needs scratching by you not reaching out to them. When you reach out, you alleviate the itch, and they actually can feel like they want to get away from you. Like maybe it would be a lot better without you. What would that be like? So you don't want to make the mystery to be what it would be like to be away from you. You don't want them to be longing for something other than you at a point down the road. And so if they long to be away from you and you won't give them that, you build that up for them. You make that more attractive. So reaching out looks like chasing. And they feel like they could get you back whenever they want you because you're the one chasing. So they don't get to experience the breakup. They feel like they're being pushed further away instead of coming towards you to where they're making movement and they can see themselves getting back together with you. Instead, it's completely one-sided. You reaching out will be interpreted as chasing if it's too early. That's why caution is the best thing you could do. Be sure to get more information on my emergency breakup kit. It's the culmination of my 20 years in the relationship coaching service, and it's a powerful guide to help you get your ex back. I link to that in the description below, and you can get more information. Take a quick second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And be sure to hit that notification bell. So the third reason you should not text your ex is that it prevents the fear of loss. And this is a little bit similar to the other two reasons in that if you reach out to them, you keep them from having to worry that you could move on because you're right there. They're interpreting your actions as you chasing. You're taking away the mystery. And so they don't have to wrestle with the idea they could lose you. They don't have to come face to face with the conclusion that they could want you back at some point and you could not be gotten back. Those conclusions, those revelations in their mind will make you more attractive. It will turn the attention back toward wanting to get back together with you, or at least considering the idea. Because even if they are still thinking they want the breakup, just making them have to face the concept that they could want you back and you could not be able to be gotten back, first of all, it makes you look more attractive. That you could move on with your life with someone else because you're an attractive person. And it also gives them a reality check that in the early stages after breaking up with you, there is relief. But when they actually have to start experiencing the breakup, that's when they can finally know if they really want it or not. And until they have to actually experience at least the potential of loss, they're not experiencing the breakup. They're experiencing a fake breakup where they could get you back anytime they wanted to. That's not a breakup. That's where they were in control and they made a decision, but they're not having to feel loss. Loss is when you don't have control over it. You see, you're the one who had to feel the loss because they broke up with you. And so in many ways, your ex became your dictator because you had no power. You had to beg for mercy. It was your ex who had the control. And you see, we want them to feel that they don't have the control, that they could get to a point where you don't want them back and that they could want you back and couldn't get you back. That's an important thing for them to internalize and realize. And that's what you want to happen. And when you text them, you don't let them feel the fear of loss. So that's something that could keep you from being able to get them back. It could at least delay the process. That's the best case scenario, is that you reach out too early and you delay the process. You could reach out too early and ruin it. Now, fortunately, I can tell you, usually you just delay it, and it could be a while, unless you reach out too much. But you could also mess it up. So just don't reach out until, again, we're talking about that 3 or 4 month mark where you have been good, you have not broken no contact, you haven't texted them. That's when you can think about maybe reaching out to them because you don't have anything to lose at that point. And yes, I realize that kind of, in some people's minds, would break a pure philosophy of no contact, but I also have 20 years at this and I've seen that sometimes that will work. And why not? If you're going to move on after that point anyway, and it's been 3 or 4 months, enough time has passed, usually. And so that's a decision that you have to make. Be sure to check out my emergency breakup kit. You can get more information with the link in the description below. And click the subscribe button so that you can be subscribed to my channel and you can be notified when I have new videos. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.